starting man-to-man, but there were times I had to get him man-to-man. And
favorite team that you guys love to face in your division?
Yours.
Yes, sir.
Like the games like we play against the Raiders, you might get 3 sacks when they had Jamarcus Russell, which I did. So I got 3 sacks on them. I got 3 sacks on them in the first half, right?
Yeah.
And I'm ready, and they take Tommy Maddox.
What is going on, everyone? We are in the JBW Solutions studios getting ready for week 16, and our pregame show starts now. Let's do a quick roll call, starting with Caleb.
I'm Caleb, representing Bolt Fam.
Matt.
I'm Matt, representing first place Broncos Country.
I am Austin, just representing Chiefs.
That's right. And I'm Corey, representing first place Broncos Country. Cody is out this week. He will return hopefully this next week as we get ready for the Christmas holidays. So we got some sponsors to shout out real quick. Because again, we are in the JBW Solutions studios. So thank you to Jeff and his team. We have Angie and her team over at Emporia State Federal Credit Union, the War Room's banking of choice, Troy and his group over at Field Ops Kansas for your field markings and court markings. And we have a couple new ones. How about that? So let's start with Rival Codes. Thank you again. We got the Rival Codes merch going. 3 of us do. Matt's still waiting on his, but he'll rep it once he gets it. And then the By Day Coffee, which Caleb, I believe, has his right there. Ours arrived yesterday, so we are getting ready to dive into that. I know my coworkers are excited to try it out and see if it's something they want to start buying. So again, thank you to all of our sponsors. Without them, the show is not possible. So let's kick it off. We have our icebreaker question. Again, Christmas is only a few days away. So I want to know, is Home Alone an overrated or underrated Christmas movie? Matt, go.
I honestly think it's overrated. I never liked Home Alone. I'm going to put Die Hard above that, and I will take that to the grave with me. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I'll allow it. I love that answer. Caleb.
I love this movie, but I will say it's probably a little overrated because I've seen it so many times. So I'll say it's a little overrated.
A little. That's fine. That's fine. You.
I am with Matt. I love Die Hard, my favorite Christmas movie, so he won't get any argument. I think Home Alone is like an accurately rated movie. Like, it's a good movie. I don't feel like anyone says it's their favorite one. You always get Die Hard like us or Elf. But if I had to pick one, I'd say it's slightly overrated if I had to lean one way.
Interesting. I don't think it's over or underrated. I would put 5 or 6 Christmas movies over Home Alone. Like, I don't sit here during Christmas and say, oh my God, I have to watch Home Alone. But again, if it's on and it's there, cool. I'll probably see what it's about and watch it. But more times than not, I'm probably going to pick a different Christmas movie to watch over that in its place. Obviously, I'll watch Elf anytime I see it on TV.
Step Brothers
is not a Christmas movie, but close enough. So again, it's just another little icebreakers. Again, Christmas is right around the corner, so we want to wish everyone a happy and safe holiday season as we get into kind of the home stretch here of the season. I guess we've been in the home stretch. Now it's really coming down to the nitty gritty. So we have our first game to talk about. Obviously, it's still pretty important for both these teams. Cowboys, obviously, maybe by a smidge, but Chargers, obviously, trying to keep pace just in case if something happens to the Broncos and they slip up. The division's still technically there for the Chargers, though the Broncos can make that all not matter just by taking care of theirs. So let's start first with the Cowboys and Chargers with the X factors and keys to victory. Caleb, you're representing Chargers, so you start.
Yeah, so my X factors this week, offensively, it's Justin Herbert. I think he's due for a big game. I think they are going to let him loose a little bit. Their secondary is pretty bad, honestly, and their pass rush is a okay matchup for our offensive line. One of the better ones they've been able to match up against, especially with Quinnen Williams being in concussion protocol and potentially missing this week. We'll see. I bet he'll end up playing. And then defensively, my X factor is Dante Jackson. The reason I say that, I mean, they have an explosive offense, as we all know. It's number one offense in the NFL right now. But if they can stop George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb from getting loose a little bit, I think we can handle. I think we can very easily handle the Cowboys if we can do those things. With that being said, we have to do those things, obviously. So offensively, we have to attack their secondary. I think that's going to be a big factor in this game. It's going to be a high-scoring game, in my opinion. I feel like every Cowboys game is high-scoring except for last week's game. So we are going to have to throw the ball more than we have been the past few weeks. And then defensively, we've got to pressure Dak. We can't allow him to sit in the pocket and just kind of pick us apart. We can't allow that. And on top of that, our DBs have to play their best. They have to play their best game this week because we saw what George Pickens did when you kind of play off of him, and typically we play a little bit of off coverage. We saw it against the Chiefs when George Pickens was just running slants over and over. And that was a little bit of press coverage, but when we're playing off a little bit, I can only imagine what he can do, you know. I think we can handle the Cowboys this week. Again, Trayvon Diggs is playing, so I'm curious to see how he looks. I know he's not a massive factor, but Deron Bland's out as well as Tyler Guyton. Yeah, I'm excited for this week, but I think it's going to be a good matchup. They're going to give us their A game. They're fighting for that playoff position, so I'm excited for it.
What about you? Any keys to victories for the Chargers?
I think it's going to be this kind of repetitive as every other week. Protect Justin Herbert. Like that's all. I don't even know if that matters too much for this game. I mean, it does, but I just just protect him. You're in the playoffs. Don't have anything more happen to him. Defensively, honestly, pressure Dak. I think you've said it many a times. Dak's really good until he feels some pressure, and that's when you can get some mistakes. So honestly, just limit the amount of hits Herbert takes, and then just pressure Dak and get in his face. And then I think Caleb's right. You'll be able to easily handle the Cowboys if those things happen.
Matt, in a perfect world, do you think the Chargers can hang in a shootout with the Cowboys?
Honestly, again, with how beat up they are and how trash Dallas's defense is, I think they can. However, Caleb, if you remember, if history serves us well, last time you and I both went against a Texas team around this time last year, we were proven wrong, and Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions. So,
good point. That's a very good point.
It's going to come down to this. Can the Chargers put up points? Because right now they're only averaging 22 points a game. Dallas is giving up 30 points a game. So it's like, where does the scale fall here?
Yeah. And I look at it similar to how you guys are. I think it does come down to both quarterbacks because obviously we know, and I'm not trying to throw shade at Justin Herbert, but he is turnover prone when it comes down to the pressure. And then obviously he's Dak. You pressure him, he'll make those mistakes. It's which quarterback's going to make the least amount of those mistakes essentially. And again, I know Herbert's going to be an X factor with his legs. I'd still like to maybe see them take it a little easy with the design runs, but hey, if it's not bothering them now, or it wasn't bothering them the last 2 weeks, why stop, right? So I do think the Chargers can hang with this, especially just with how bad the Cowboys defense. I mean, I tried jumping on the Cowboys bandwagon not too long back, and I've already regretted that decision. So I can't do it again. So we'll make our predictions here at the end of the episode. Does anyone else have anything on the Chargers Cowboys before we do a quick dive into this next shit show?
Let's dive on in.
All right. So just a quick, can the Raiders even sniff an upset this week? Caleb, go.
No.
Okay.
I think you got my answer.
Sniff one? Like, I'm sure they can smell it, but they're not going to get close to it. Like, yeah, I can smell it. You're cooking it outside, but I don't know how to get there. So, no.
It's like the barbecue you're not invited to. Like, you can smell it, but you don't know the people there, so you can't just go.
You're like, dang, it smells so good. Someone's grilling some really good steak right now, some burgers. Yeah, I can smell it over here.
But we're so far away.
But they don't like us. They're the angry neighbors, and they're just like, yeah, no. Yeah, I agree. No upset for Geno Smith and the boys this week. Go.
Is there one thing that can happen that keeps the Raiders in the game? Like if Max in the front line dominate and get to CJ Stroud, do you think that'll make it a game still?
No, because even when Max has dominated, they still haven't been able to keep
at the
up.
whole front line. It's not just Max's line.
But
if they get pressure,
Max.
that's true.
It has been Max, and their D-line has gotten pressure on people, and they still lose by 20. So
my bold prediction is coming for this game. Just a little heads up.
One thing I can say, and again, looking at head-to-head comparison, you guys can go to our Instagram page. They're on there as well for your viewing pleasure. The Texans right now are not running the ball well. They're only averaging 108 yards a game. So, I mean, that's really not – it's not horrible, but it's not great. So, what are you going to do? You're going to go one-dimensional and just let CJ air it out, which you probably could. Again, it is the Raiders. So,
yeah, it could be another big Nico game. Nico Collins had a pretty big game last week. I could see that happening again this week. So Cody will have that breakdown for you guys next week, or you might even get a crash out. I don't even know if this would even deserve a crash out just based on it's the Texans, and the Raiders shouldn't even come close to the win on here. So let's move to another game that's kind of irrelevant as well. It's the Chiefs-Titans. The Chiefs honestly just put like 15 guys on the not going to play this week, and I think they put 2 guys today on the IR. Yeah, today on the IR, Leo Chenal and one other player, and then they cut somebody else. So the Chiefs are kind of in that, hey, we're in the offseason mode now. We're going to start, putting guys on the IR. Don't play guys who, there's really no reason to try to get them hurt more, which is obviously a smart move for them. It's a little different than what we're used to talking about with the Chiefs. In week 16, it's, hey, they're going to lock it up. They're going to sit everybody the next couple of weeks and kind of go from there. So the Chiefs injury bug is a real thing, and you're the Chiefs fan. So
thanks.
What happens with the Titans today?
I think it's not going to be a pretty game. I still trust schematically on defense for them to keep the Chiefs in the game today. Can I really trust an offense that was kind of struggling to put up points with Patty? Do I really think it's going to turn the page and do it with Gardner Minshew with no Rice and no Thornton? It's not Titans. If there's one thing they can do defensively, they can get after the quarterback a little bit and they can stop the run. So even if we decide to lead the run game, is that going to be a factor? So I don't think it'll be pretty, win or lose. I think the one bright spot Chiefs Kingdom can take out of this is we're going to see a lot of depth pieces playing. We're going to see a decent part of these players to see if they can hang around on the roster going into next year. We'll probably see a full game in Noel Williams. We might get some Jeffrey Bassa finally with some linebackers being banged up. See what he's about, Esaples and some offensive linemen. So really, obviously we always want Chiefs to win, but I think what we should be watching for today is just see how these depth pieces look. Do they look like they belong? So next year, if we get hit with the injury bug, we're ready, or we're going to be kind of screwed like we were this year with injuries. So it's not going to be pretty. It does feel weird saying you don't really need to tune into a Chiefs game at the end of December because it really is a draft position game. That's what these two teams are playing for because they are eliminated. So just enjoy seeing some new faces, some young faces, see what they look like, and don't get too beat up if the Chiefs lose, right? That's not what we're about right now anymore.
So, Matt, when you look at the head-to-head comparisons, the offensive stats are kind of irrelevant now because you're basically a whole new offensive line, basically. No Patrick Mahomes, no Rice, Thornton, all those guys. So what do you think the numbers are kind of looking like on the Titans side that maybe says the Titans could maybe get a win here?
Well, again, for the Titans, I'm expecting them to run the ball more. Again, they haven't run the ball well all season long, only averaging 88 yards a game. So, I expect them to try and test, their run game against, the Chiefs' backup players. And again, I think, what a time for the Chiefs to bring in their depth players for the NFL's second practice squad, the other one being the Raiders. So, I expect them to run the ball a little bit more, maybe try and take some shots down the field again, because you got a lot of Chiefs starters out and why why play him? Like, this game is completely irrelevant unless, like, you want to try and get that number 1 draft pick and you're not going to get it. So I expect the offensive numbers to go up. I don't want to say too drastically, but you're going to probably see a little bit more runs in there. You're going to see a little bit more shots down the field, and we'll just have to see how the Titans do against the depth players. And, this Titans team is just bad, so it may not even be that great.
Yeah, and Caleb, when you look at Cam Ward in the offense, obviously he's the franchise guy. Well, what are you looking at when you see the Titans play the Chiefs today?
Yeah, I'm expecting him to have a decent game, just because the Chiefs are, resting some guys, or they're injured, kind of thing. But I expect him to have a good game. I think obviously he needs some weapons and that kind of thing, but I think they will lean on the run game a little bit, and then that will kind of loosen it up for him. But I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see what Cam Ward can actually do against, like, a comparable matchup for his line, that kind of thing. Because, I mean, Chris Jones, I think's still expected to play, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, that'll still be a tough matchup, but overall, the defense, since they're resting so many guys, I think he should have a solid game. I'm not going to say he's going to be out of this world, but I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, and I know Diana Rossini reported that there's a strong belief that Matt Nagy is possibly going to be the next head coach of the Titans, which I'm sure Chiefs fans are like, yes, please do. Please do hire Matt Nagy as your head coach. We would love that. You might actually get some Chiefs fans posting happy videos at that point if that does happen. So I look at this kind of the same way. I think, look, man, I still like Gardner Minshew. I still like what he's about. He's obviously a high character guy. I still think it's the Titans, right? So I think at the end of the day, the Chiefs should be fine here. You're just going to get some more depth pieces that are getting some work in, and even a bad team should be able to beat the Titans. No matter how bad it gets, you're still the Chiefs. They're still the Titans, no matter who's playing, who's not. So let's move on to the AFC West, probably the game of the week for the West as far as matchups go. Matt, kind of weird, didn't expect to say the Jaguars and Broncos could possibly be a big-time playoff matchup, but here we are. So give us your X factors and key to victory for the Broncos.
On the defensive side of the ball, it's going to be Denver's run defense. Jacksonville runs that ball very well, and I've been saying it since the beginning of the year. Denver's weak part in that front seven is that interior line. Travis Etienne, he's just, if he gets going, it's hard to stop him. So, it's going to be, can you contain the middle? Can you stop those up the gut runs? Again, Jacksonville just runs the ball well. And then, as far as Jacksonville goes, they haven't lost since the last time they played the Texans. They've been on a win streak. So, again, they're feeling themselves a little bit, quoting Jonathan Cooper there back when they played the Giants and his comments on Jackson. They're feeling themselves a little bit, and they should. They're doing very well. They beat some tough teams. They beat them on the road. They beat them at home. So right now, it's definitely Denver's run defense. And can they pressure Trevor Lawrence? Because he's another one. If you can pressure him, he will make mistakes. If you can pressure Trevor Lawrence and you can force him out of the pocket, force him to try and make a bad throw off his back foot, he will make mistakes and he will throw picks. That's something Denver's also struggled to do, is get turnovers. They only have 9 interceptions on the year. So this is a game where I want them to start making turnovers. As far as the offensive side of the ball, RJ Harvey and Bo Nix. This is a tough run defense. The Jacksonville has a very good run defense, and historically, Denver just doesn't do well with teams that have good run defenses. So Harvey and McLaughlin, they got to get the ball. They got to get something. Harvey, when a run lane opens up, and it drives me nuts that he does it, a run lane opens up, quit bouncing it outside. Just run up through the lane and get the yards where you can get them. Take the yards where you can get them. Stop trying to bounce outside. And Nix, honestly, he's just got to keep doing what he's doing. He's been making good decisions. His footwork is better. He's not forcing any throws. He's taking what the defense gives him. So he just needs to do that. Just needs to keep doing that. Take what the defense gives you, find the run lanes, stop the run, create turnovers.
So there's one thing that really, really scares me with this Jaguars team, is Travis Etienne. He's one of the better pass catchers as a running back, and Denver's obviously not it when it comes to covering a running back. We saw Josh Jacobs have a 20-yard touchdown catch over Dre Greenlaw. We've seen other running backs have success in the passing game. So this is Liam Cohen. People have got to start giving Liam Cohen respect for what he's doing. He's calling really good offense. He's scheming up very good offensive plays right now. This is a hot team. Trevor Lawrence's legs do worry me a little bit as well. We're gonna have to use those linebackers as spies at times because he will pull the ball down. Which is, to Matt's point, if you can get the pressure on Trevor Lawrence and make him, gift you a couple turnovers, those are always there. He will do that. And then again, I need to see Vance Joseph from start to finish be aggressive. Be aggressive. If you're going to get some PI calls, you're going to get some PI calls, but be physical with this group. Okay, Jacoby Myers obviously just got paid. He's a very capable receiver, and what him and Trevor Lawrence are doing together right now is worrisome when it comes to the matchups with Riley Moss and maybe even J-Mac, some of those matchups. But again, it's going to come down to ETN and him in the passing game, and that really worries me. As far as the offensive side goes, we get Pat Bryant back, use him. I like these quick hitters, the quick shots that they're taking with Bo. They're not just trying to, run, get nothing, and then all of a sudden it's, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, they're taking 40-yard shots down the field. They take the quick hitter, stay ahead of the chains. Don't let Jacksonville's defense stay in it. You're playing at home. You're at altitude. Run some hurry up, run some tempo. We saw it work against Green Bay. Those guys were getting gassed and just hired out that defense. I still think the run game's got to be there still. You're not going to get what you're expecting. You're not going to gash them for 6, 7, 8 yards a carry. Get 3, 4 yards each time. Stay ahead of the chains and work the clock. You'll be fine. I don't think it's going to be one of those shootout games. I think, again, Matt, we're going to be in for a very ugly game, another gritty game. I don't see it being a blowout, but at the same time, this is a game that Denver's got to pay attention and they got to be ready because Jacksonville is not the Jacksonville of old. This team's they're playing really well, and this team that can come out with a win. So get your playoffs. You got the playoffs locked up. Now your next goal is get that 1 seed. Don't look ahead to anything else. Take care of business today. And let's talk next week about the win streak continuing. So what about you? What are you looking at for the Jags and Broncos game?
Honestly, this is going to be weird. I don't care about either team, so I'm honestly just hoping it's competitive. Because let's be honest, my gut's telling me this is about to be a Denver beatdown, as in Denver's going to lay a beatdown. Jags yes, they're winning, but it's been pretty sloppy. I don't think you can play like that against Denver. Not right now. Not in Denver either. They proved how good of a team they are and how hard they are to beat in Denver. Green Bay, I think that's a very good comp for the Jags. Up and down quarterback play, decent run game, okay defense, but more opportunistic than dominant. And I think that's what the Jags are. And the Packers got a little sloppy and that game got away. So truthfully, I hope it's competitive, but I honestly think Denver's defense kind of controls this game. I really do. Yes, there are matchups that could be taken advantage of, but I still think Denver's ready for it. I think Denver with Sean Payton is a very good self-scouting team. They know what their weaknesses are, and they know that's probably the other team's game plan, and they're really good at having something ready for it. Personally, I hope it stays competitive, but I really think Denver's defense is about to control this game today.
And Caleb, I know you want the Jaguars to win, obviously for reasons that we don't need to get into. Everyone knows you're a Chargers fan, so it kind of self-explains. So what does Jacksonville do today that maybe gives them the win on the road in Denver?
I think what they have to do, they have to force turnovers. I think Denver still pulls this game out, but Jacksonville's really, really good in the secondary. They have 18 interceptions this season. They're plus 10 in turnover margin, which is really, really good. So I think it's going to be a big RJ Harvey and McLaughlin game. I think they have to approach it a little different than they did Green Bay because Bo was able to just throw it all over the yard that game. I don't necessarily know that he will have those opportunities this game. I think they may have to approach it a little differently, but I still think Denver can pull this game out. I'm actually really excited for this game. I think it's going to be a great matchup. And again, talking about the run game, Jaguars actually have a really good run offense too. Like Tootin had a great game against my team. So they even have like some backup pieces there that can pop off a little bit. So I expect a really good matchup this week. I'm pretty excited for this one, just to watch it. I really am.
Maybe it's a coincidence, Matt, but the offense has been humming along since Sean's quit calling those screen passes.
This is true. This is true.
He listened to you guys. He listened to our show and was like, you know what? Those guys are onto something.
Yeah.
Those little couch coaches.
Yeah, right. Those little couch coaches. Before we move on, Matt, go ahead and tell us some of the head-to-head comparisons here.
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry, my screen blacked out. Sorry. Normally we have it up on the screen, but I will say this. They are expecting this to be an emotional game because this is the return of Timothy Patrick, his first game in Denver since
Broncos
leaving the
Country.
team. So, I mean, much love to Timothy Patrick. No matter what happens in this game, I will always love Timothy Patrick and what he was able to do in Denver. But, yeah, I mean, again, looking at this team, both of them they have top 10 defenses. Denver's boasting the number 5 defense. Jacksonville's sitting at 10. And like Caleb said, I mean, Jacksonville's defense, I think they're leading the league in interceptions. Meanwhile, you have Denver leading the league in sacks. So both of them have their strengths. They both have their weaknesses. It's just going to be which offense is going to be able to pinpoint that weakness and exploit it and continue to build off of it. Because both offenses are pretty similar. Denver the 11th, Jacksonville the 16th. Jacksonville's running the ball not much better than Denver. Denver's got 119, Jacksonville 120. But Denver is throwing the ball better. Jacksonville, however, is getting points. So, again, both offenses have their strengths, both have their weaknesses. So, like, who's going to find the weakness and who's going to be able to exploit it sooner and quicker and keep their defense off the field longer?
Yeah, it's setting up to be one of those nasty defensive games, I think, and I'm here for it in December, especially now Denver doesn't really have to look ahead to the Chiefs, right? You have the Chiefs on Christmas Day. You don't have to necessarily look at that because that's just going to be another game at this point. And we can let the Chiefs worry about being spoilers at that point. So, stay ahead of schedule, do what you're supposed to do your job, and we can hopefully get out of there with the dub. So let's move on to our league recon. Okay, I have a couple topics here. And kind of weird. The first one isn't because Tua obviously was benched. Quinn Ewers, which I know surprised kind of all of us, especially Matt. So Matt, kind of give us your thoughts on Tua being benched, and is our friend Tua done in Miami?
I think Tua is done in Miami. I am like I said, I texted our group chat like Quinn Ewers starting over Zach Wilson is just wild to me. I think Zach has already proven he's a very viable quarterback. He did very well in Denver. And I think a lot of people are looking like, oh, we're, trash in New York. I'm like, yeah, but look what he had with him in New York. He was just not happy there. He comes to Denver, completely different person, vibed well with not only Bo Nix, but Jarrett Stidham as well. The three of them were like 3 peas in a pod. He comes to Miami, and I'm like, cool, like he's a viable option. And I don't know why they just, they're not rolling with him. Like, let him prove his shot. Because I thought Zach Wilson, like, cool, Tua's bench. This is Zach Wilson now. This is going to be Miami's going to be his team to lead. And then they're like, Quinn Ewers, that's our guy. I'm like, the dude that's never taken an NFL snap other than preseason. Bold move, Cotton. Let me know how it works out for you.
Yeah, and I think, and I'll let these other two guys go first. And I think I don't know, did he get in last week or was that still Zach Wilson? I don't remember. I'll have to look that part up. So, Caleb, give us your thoughts on Tua being benched, and is he a possible Raiders option in the offseason?
Ooh, okay. All I have to say is I'm so thankful for the Dolphins organization because they drafted Tua and we did not. So I'm so thankful for the Dolphins. But with that being said, I think he's done in Miami. I really do. But the hard part in that situation is they owe him so much money. So, like, I don't know how they're going to get out from under that.
We know a thing or two about that.
Oh, yeah, the Russell. Yeah.
Yes, we know a thing or two.
No kidding. It's and that's a whole nother topic, but because I can go on a tangent there. But I mean, he might be a viable option for the Raiders. I don't know. I know Cody probably wouldn't be up for that. And I don't know that it actually solves any issues for them. But yeah, I think he's done in Miami. I don't think if you can't fit in Mike McDaniel's offense, that's not a very good sign, if I'm being honest with you, because I feel like he makes it very quarterback friendly. And it's not working out, really.
Yeah, what says you about the old Tua situation? I mean, obviously we're teams that we're not really in the market for quarterbacks, but there will be, and this is not just a weak quarterback class coming into the draft. So what are your thoughts on Tua and maybe where he might end up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised he's benched. I think from what Caleb said, like from the monetary standpoint, maybe it is a little weird because, I mean, that's a lot of money to either bench or move on from and be struck with the cap space. But Denver proved it's an okay method if you do it right. So I think teams are going to get froggier with it. I'm not too surprised it's yours. I think this is, it's a rookie. We've kind of seen what Zach Wilson is in the NFL, right? Like he's not a superstar. He is a quality person, but like quarterback. But I think at this point, you see what Quinn Ewers has as your draft pick. You let him go out against one of the league worst defenses and maybe strike up some momentum. And maybe you finish out here strong the final 3 weeks and Mike McDaniels and Quinn Ewers save their jobs and come back next year. Like, hey, I struck gold with the rookie quarterback. Like, come back, bring us back. But as far as where Tua goes, I mean, there's going to be plenty of quarterback needy teams. And between him and Kyler Murray, I think those are going to be the two sought after just because it is a weak quarterback class. So I think you might have some teams who are willing to eat a little bit of that money to try to fight for those two, given the quarterback draft class. But there will be a market for both of them. If I had to pick a team, I actually just think a clean swap of him for Kyler makes the most sense.
Yeah, that would be that'd actually be interesting. And we can talk about that in the off season, but I look at it as Quinn Ewers is a rookie. Yeah. You got to figure out if he's going to give you a chance next year or if this is where you need to look elsewhere, free agency, draft, etc. It gives you a couple games to see what is he worth it with Waddle, with Achane, Waller, all those guys, and get a piece. I mean, maybe who knows? Maybe he plays this week, doesn't do it, then they're like, okay, well, let's look at Zach Wilson real quick for a couple or the final game. Let's see if he's maybe another guy that we can bring back for another year. See if he can, maybe get us over the hump. They're in a tough division. Obviously, the Patriots are there, the Bills. We don't know what the Jets will be next year. Every year it's going to be their year where they're going to take that step forward and they take backward steps. So, yeah, I mean, hey, Chargers lucked out. They got the better quarterback in the draft on that one. So we'll monitor the Tua situation. And obviously with Kyler probably also being done in Arizona, I mean, it could be a very, very interesting offseason. So we'll find out in March once all that stuff becomes kind of available. So this one was kind of funny. I saw on X the other day, someone had said the higher-ups in the Browns organization have interest in bringing in Bill Belichick, and he may actually have interest in making a return to the Browns. Guys, it's a saga we never thought would ever end, right? So, Caleb, give us your thoughts on Bill Belichick coming back to the NFL possibly, and should it be the Browns?
I don't think he'll actually end up coming back. If he does, I could see the Browns being the ones to do something like that. I think being out a year or 2 years, I guess. I know he was coaching in college, but his team was bad. I don't know. I think I could see someone pulling a trigger, I guess. Yeah, I could see the Browns pulling the trigger on something like that just because they're – no offense to them. They're kind of a poor decision-making team. I'm not saying hiring Bill Belichick's a bad thing necessarily, but I don't think it's a good thing at his age, coming off of a year in college, the whole off-the-field issues with his 24-year-old girlfriend, that kind of thing, her on the sidelines. I just don't see that helping the Browns necessarily, but I could see them pulling the trigger on it. So I'm kind of indifferent. I think he could come back. I don't think he will. Sorry, Matt. But yeah, I
Please
don't
continue.
I think. I mean, I could see it either way. Really, I could see the Browns bringing him back. I don't think it's a good idea personally, but I could see someone doing that.
And God bless Caleb and his innocent mouth.
For real.
He wanted
Tartar
us-
sauce.
I heard doo-doo a couple times, and I don't think he meant to do it, but bless you for his family show, so we appreciate that. Let's go to the opposite of that. Matt, Bill Belichick, Browns, good fit. Yes, no.
I mean, what have the Browns got to lose at this point? I mean, you already have a shit head coach. Shedeur, you don't know what you're going to get with him yet. Like, hey, maybe he flourishes under Bill. Maybe he just tanks. But we've already seen Bill with the mobile QB before in Cam Newton, and it didn't really make a difference. So, like, I don't know. I don't think Shedeur Sanders and Bill Belichick are a right fit for each other just because they have two different styles. I don't think Shedeur would get his system. I don't think Bill has the patience for him. Maybe his 24-year-old girlfriend does, but I don't know. Maybe he'll trip the wing stop. But yeah, I don't, like Caleb said, I could see the Browns making a rash decision, just kind of doing it because, again, this is what the Browns are known for, other than when I take them to the Super Bowl. There's just, would it happen? I can see it. Is it going to happen? Probably not.
That clash of personalities between Shedeur and Bill Belichick, though, would be cinema. And I think Hard Knocks would love to have Bill Belichick go to the Browns immediately. Deion Sanders would probably be like, well, because we know Deion is obviously very involved in Shedeur with what Shedeur is doing in Cleveland. So, Deion, as much as obviously everyone respects Belichick still, Deion's still dad. He's not coach anymore, but that would still be a very interesting how Deion would handle it. What about you? What do you say about the old Cleveland Browns and Bill Belichick?
I halfway like it just because I think he would be able to elevate that defense a little bit more, and there's a lot to work with on that side. The only difference is he's not going to have a McDaniels running that offense because I don't think McDaniels leaves New England, not with what they had brewing there. I think he's happy there. So, like, I halfway would know why Belichick would be interested because it's like they have a good defense already. I could elevate that. But I don't like it from an offensive. Like, he would bring in like Chip Kelly, and we all already know how that would go for running that offense. So it's a very Browns thing to do. So I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it happens. I think if Belichick comes back to the NFL, it's to break the all-time wins record, and you're not going to do that in Cleveland in a timely manner. So I think you're going to wait for something else if you're coming back to the NFL from Belichick's point of view. I do think he wants that all-time record. So I think he's waiting for an opportunity, right? Like, let's say the Ravens move on from Harbaugh. I think Belichick would be like, okay, like they have a lot more to work with, maybe only a couple seasons to break a record, but Cleveland really makes no sense for either one. I think you need some young blood in there to operate the offense because that's what needs help. And that's not exactly Belichick. So, I mean, I would get it because what everyone said, it's the Browns. Browns are going to do something that kind of just doesn't make sense. But I think from outside point of view, either way, it just really doesn't make sense.
And it would be a Raiders. Like, did they not learn anything from what the Raiders just did? Right. And again, we love Pete Carroll, but again, old, right? You're trying to get your franchise back on track. I mean, I guess you could look at it as maybe they do get their, maybe Bill gets the foundation better. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think Bill's going to come back for the Browns. I think it'd have to be a way better situation than what the Browns have to offer. And I think Matt's right. They'll just continue to get taken to the Super Bowl by all of us. So that's kind of wrapping it up for the League Recon. Again, we're here in the JBW Solutions studio. JBW Solutions, obviously a sponsor of our show. So let's move on to our first sponsored seggy of this week, and that's the Rival Code Rivalry Game of the Week. You, the followers and fans, have spoken. It was kind of neck and neck with the Bears, Packers, and Seahawks, Rams. Obviously, a lot of people said, obviously, for this week, it's Seahawks, Rams, but for rivalry purposes, it's obviously Packers and Bears. But before we get going, I do have to say, I got a little ahead of myself the other night. I got a little cocky in the group text. It was 30-14, and I told you guys I'm the best there is. Suck it. And I went to bed just to wake up to see Corey's going to be real pissed when he wakes up and sees how this just to see that the Rams decided to choke it away and lose 38-37. So I don't get to really have a say in the segment. So I kind of got what I said. I'm going to bite the bullet on this one. I fudged up. I was wrong. Matt Stafford, you let me down. I'm sorry. Matt, give us your thoughts on Seahawks Rams and what you took away from that game.
I thought it was going to be a tough battle. I didn't think it was going to turn out like that, though. I didn't think that it was going to be, the Rams winning the turn. Yeah, the Rams did win the turnover battle. I didn't expect it to be like that. Winning the turn, because most of the time you see a team win the turnover battle, they win the game. And then, it was kind of, I was thinking it. I didn't say it, though. When they went up 30-14, I was like, yep, I think the Rams won. And then you went and blew it all to hell with your arrogance. So everyone thank Corey for that. But I mean, that just shows you that the Seahawks team, they got fight in them. They're resilient. They don't give up despite the circumstances. Hey, we had 3 turnovers against us, but we're still in this game. And that's just the way they looked at it. Now, it was a very bizarre 2-point conversion. But I mean, again, if you look at the overhead view, that was a backwards pass, and rules are rules, but it was very bizarre how they won that game. That is for sure. But again, the Seahawks team, they have fight in them. They're gritty. They'll keep grinding it out until the clock says 0. So could the Seahawks be in the Super Bowl?
And I couldn't have said that at the worst possible time the other night, because everything kind of turned after I turned the game off. I said my piece to my homies, told you guys what I was thinking, and here we are. So obviously you kind of made sure to know that I was wrong. You gladly told me I was wrong multiple times, not only text but in person. So do the honors on your thoughts on the Rams.
In my defense, I tried to send some selfie shots of me to cheer you up for when you woke up.
As well live in California looking like that.
Preach it, brother. With that being said, it was a great game. I think that was one of the better Thursday night games we've had in a long time, maybe ever. I think that proves, I don't know. I think it proves that they're both really good teams. I know the Rams lost, but I still don't think that should change anyone's long-term view of how they're going to do. Now they could still get it, but more than likely going to just have to go on the road to do it now, which is obviously a little different than what they'd want. But, Sammy D still didn't play the greatest game. So I can't really say that, he's now a changed man and can win these big games. He made plays when he needed to, I guess. But at the end of the day, it was just a good game. 2 good teams. One of them has to lose. It was the Rams. My feelings towards them haven't changed. My feelings towards the Seahawks still haven't changed. Really good defense, special teams, really good rushing attack that kind of ran all over the Rams, honestly. K9, Kenneth Walker kind of owned that game for the Seahawks for a while, but it was just a good game. I still don't think the Seahawks with the 1 seed are going to be favored for the Super Bowl, as weird as that sounds. But yeah, it was a good game, wild game, crazy game, entertaining game, everything we could ask for.
I may have taken a shot at Sam Darnold in the group text as well, but that's not here nor there. Caleb, give us your thoughts on what the Seahawks did to the Rams, and does that change your mind on? Well, I think you actually picked Seahawks to win the division last week in the previous episode, so obviously you're probably not too surprised by this, but I'll let you give your thoughts on the Seahawks-Rams game.
Yeah, I was shocked as you all were. When I saw the score, I was kind of like, holy cow, like, oh gosh, this is going to be a blowout. And then somehow the Seahawks pulled it out. And I got to give Sam Darnold some kudos because I thought a little bit on the same line as Austin, but the way he converted, I mean, the 2-point conversion there at the end of the game, that was big time. That was the first ever win on a 2-point conversion in overtime in NFL history, matter of fact, which is really weird because you would have thought that would have happened before, but That is the first time that was the game-winning play. But overall, like that, like you were saying, Austin, too, I don't think that takes anything away from the Rams. I mean, Matthew Stafford threw for 457 yards and 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, and they lost. Like, what is that saying about their defense this week? That's probably a topic in its own, especially with having the lead, giving it up, letting them score as many points as they did there in the second half. I was shocked by that. But yeah, I was really impressed with how they played. I mean, they caught me off guard, and I picked them to win. They still caught me off guard. I know it was a 1-point win, but for them to come back the way they did shocked me more than, I guess, that shocked me.
Yeah. I said it was going to be an easy win for the Rams, and they made me look good for 3 quarters. So I was 3 quarters. I was 75% right. So let's get into our locks and upsets of week 16. So each of us is going to pick a lock or an upset, and I'm going to start this one because I see one right away. And I probably actually know what, I'm not going to, because just in case I don't want to steal it from one of you guys. So Caleb, give us your lock or upset of the week.
Yeah. So my lock, this one's going to be shocking maybe, but it's the Lions. I think they obliterate the Steelers this week. They're fighting for a playoff spot. Steelers are somewhat in there, but I think they kind of put the hammer down on them.
Last time someone said the team was going to get obliterated.
I know.
Yeah. So just don't send the group text. Don't send the text to the group. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Matt, who you
got? So my lock of the week is going to be the Bills over the Browns. Again, I just think the Bills have all the momentum with them right now. Yeah, they're going into Cleveland, but Cleveland's just a poorly coached team. They're all over the place. The Bills are a little bit more organized. So give me the Bills over the Browns.
Yeah, my upset is actually right now the Ravens are favorite, so I'm actually going to take Patriots on the road over the Ravens. I'm not going to say anything silly like an easy win or, obliterated. I think the Patriots are going to take care of business on the road against the Ravens. So that's an upset pick.
Yeah, and I'm going to upset too. I got the Chargers over the Cowboys right now.
An upset.
Cowboys are 1.5-point favorites. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm a Chargers fan this week with you, Caleb.
Hey.
Though it doesn't hurt my feelings if you guys were to lose either. So
it's a win-win.
It is a win-win. So, but I'm not going to, I did learn my lesson last week. I'm going to give this week a break as far as, making stupid predictions like I did last week. So we'll kind of go from there. So that's going to be our lock and upset picks of the week. So let's move on to the next one is Safe or Not Safe, sponsored by, again, JBW Solutions. We're in the JBW Solutions studios. So these guys are the sponsor of our Safe, Not Safe segment. So 3 teams, guys. We're going to go 3 teams, and all we need to do, you guys know the drill, safe or not safe. Caleb, we're going to start with you. The Chargers, are they safe or not safe?
Yes.
Matt?
Not safe.
Okay. You?
Dang, yeah, they're safe.
Yeah, I'm gonna say safe, or what I just said was irrelevant. So they're safe this week. And then I kind of think we know Caleb's answer on this next one, but I'm gonna start with Matt. Matt, are the Lions safe this week?
Yes.
Caleb?
Yes.
Are they gonna obliterate, as some would say? All right, Austin, Patriots, are they safe or not safe?
Yeah, they are.
Matt?
I'm going to go safe.
Caleb?
I'm going to say not safe.
Yeah, so am I. And again, Matt, just tell your mom I'm sorry. I know she'll have something to say, that I'm not a nice person for picking against the Patriots, but I'm so sorry. Patriots are not safe.
She might get mad at me because I'm picking them. And
That's true. Hopefully,
I need to change my upset now that Matt picked them.
Yeah, let's. So again, I'm just going to go out and say I'm so sorry, but yeah, Patriots are just not safe this week. All else fails, I'm wrong again, and she can make fun of me. It's all good. So, it's our last segment. One we're really excited about. It's Brewed Takes presented by Viaday Coffee. Each of us are going to we're going to brew up a hot take for week 16. So again, thank you to our newest sponsor. We're excited for the coffee. And like I said, I have a lot of friends who are ready to try this coffee out as well. So, Matt, let's start with you. What is your brew take of week 16?
So I think my brew take is going to be Riley Moss is going to have a second consecutive week with the turnover. He's going to get another pick. Denver's defensive line is going to get to Trevor Lawrence. He's going to throw off the back foot, and Riley Moss is going to be there to pick it off.
Love it. I actually really, really am happy for Riley. Matt and I are very, very hard on Riley. So hopefully, back-to-back weeks of turnovers.
Austin lets me know how hard on Riley I am. So
no more almost picks. So what do you got?
I don't know if it's a hot take, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think the Texans defense has more touchdowns than the Raiders offense this week.
I mean,
sure, yeah.
It is kind of a hot take, but at the same time, but
the
at the same time, like if we come on next week and the Texans have like a fumble 6 or a thick 6 or something, no one's going to be surprised by this. The Raiders get shut out again this week. No one. I don't even think Cody would be surprised, and I know he's not here to defend that, but I would be very confident in saying Cody would probably be like, yeah, dude, you're probably right on this. So
is that a hot take, or do I need another one?
No, I think we live with it because
that's why I say it's the Raiders, so I don't know how hot of a take it is.
Well, I'm not sure. Caleb, what do you got?
So I was actually going to say the Raiders too. I was going to say that the Raiders have less than 100 total yards and 0 points. That's what I was going to say. So
31-0 Texans.
Yes. I guess is that even hot? Again, like you were saying.
Yeah, okay, look, guys, at the end of the day, it's still an NFL team.
Is it?
They still get paid. They still get paid to do a job, whether they do it or not. We know a lot of people. We probably have coworkers that get paid for not doing much.
Okay.
It is what it is. Hopefully none of mine see that because I'm not talking about you guys. I love you guys. My hot take, man, I don't know if I want to do this, but so Matt Stafford just got done throwing for 450 yards. I'm going to say Jared Goff's throwing for 400 yards against the Steelers. They're at home. It's indoors. So I like Jared Goff going for 400. And my luck, it'll be Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have like 300 rushing yards instead. So look, man, the Steelers just aren't it. I was on the Steelers bandwagon early. I'm not anymore. So it's a hot take. So give me Jared Goff for 400 yards and the Lions obliterate the Steelers, as one would say.
All right, so it's not a hot take, but we got to make sure we throw it in here. Make sure you're well aware that Myles Garrett is setting the all-time sack record later on. It's going to happen. Doesn't mean I think they win the game, but I want you to know that he'll get a few more chances with Josh Allen trying to buy some time. So just be on the lookout for Myles Garrett to set that record today. That's not a hot take. Because he only needs like a sack and a half to break it. Mm-hmm. That's not really going too far out on a limb, but I at least want to give a Myles Garrett shout out and kind of record watch because it is exciting. Whether you're a fan or not, anytime a sports record can get broken, I think you kind of have to be excited. Maybe it's just me, but make sure you pay in and watch, and then give the man his flowers when it happens.
Yeah, it's the Browns. I don't care. So
it's a sports record.
But at least the Browns have one positive thing going for them, I suppose. So, Caleb, give us the results of how the certified dog of the week went.
Yeah, so it went really good actually. And then Bo Nix got it. Obviously, Bo Nix is the dog of the week, as he probably should have been. He threw 4 touchdowns. He balled out, played a great game. But yeah, I'm really happy with the voting. I'm excited for that to continue, and hopefully more of you will start voting as well, or see that on our posts and that kind of thing, and interact with that. But yeah, I'm excited with how it turned out. I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, so make sure you guys are hitting the subscribe button. Subscribers, we're liking what we're seeing as far as the subscribers go. Obviously, I can't speak for the War Room TikTok, but I know just getting on TikTok and my personal TikTok, we're getting quite a few followers on that. So let's end this with our AFC West predictions. As I'm getting ready to say it, my brother's like, so let's go with the first matchups today. Cowboys, Chargers. Caleb, start us off.
Chargers.
Maddie?
God, my gut is I'm going Cowboys. I'm going to regret it, but I'm going with the Cowboys.
America's team. I'm going Chargers.
I am also going Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, again, Matt, it wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys did end up winning this game, but at the end of the day,
well, again, Caleb and I, we both can't pick the Chargers against the Texas team. Last time we did, it did not end well for the Chargers. So
Thank you, Matt.
That way, at least one of us is right.
Yeah. So Raiders, Texans. Is it anyone going Raiders? Are the Raiders going Raiders? All right. So we're all in the Texans.
Next.
Yeah. Well, not much better. Chiefs or Titans? Caleb?
I'm going to go Chiefs.
Remember where you live.
I know.
Jesus, could that be any more like gruesome?
I know where you live. I know where you live.
So much for being a Tennessean, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I would love for them to win, but I don't see it.
Yeah. Matt, do you see it?
Give me KC on this one. I think even KC's backups could hang with Tennessee starters. So
yeah, I said something similar to what Matt just said as far as that goes. I like the Chiefs backups. Give me some Gardner mania. So I'm also going Chiefs.
Yeah, my gut's telling me Titans, but like my heart still needs to pick the Chiefs in a game like this. So I'm going Chiefs.
Matt, Broncos, Jags.
Give me Broncos. Broncos at home.
Who you got?
Broncos.
Caleb?
I'm going to go Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Broncos too. I was leaning towards a blowout earlier in the week, but now I'm kind of sitting here like, nah, I think it's going to be more of a defensive slobber fest. So give me the Broncos on that one as well. So, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. We've had a lot of fun in this hour. Hope everyone enjoys a Sunday full of football. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some Saturday football as well. College football playoffs going on as well. Mom, roll Tide.
Yeah.
So we just want to say thank you to our sponsors again, Troy, those guys over at Field Ops Kansas, Angie, Emporia State Federal Credit Union, War Rooms Banking of Choice. We are again in the JBW Solutions studio. We are sponsored by JBW Solutions, LLC. Jeff and his team. Jeff, I know, man, I can't thank Jeff enough for what he's done for us and what he keeps coming up with for us without going into detail. But Jeff has been an absolute, he's been a rock for us. And we really appreciate everything he's done for the show. Our new sponsors as well, Rival Codes. Those guys are real excited. They made up some new designs for us, the ones that they didn't have. So make sure you guys are following these links. Go buy some of this merch. Even just go check out their website and see if there's things that you guys want on there. And the Vide Coffee, the newest sponsor. Thank you guys for the coffee as well. So you coffee drinkers, we're still waiting on the energy drinks, Matt. We're still working towards the energy drink. Come on, Bang. Come on, Bang. We want Bang. So again, guys, enjoy your Sunday. We'll be back Tuesday with hopefully a special guest that we'll talk about in the next couple of days. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Until then, we will see you guys on Tuesday.